Hey guys, welcome back. Hope you guys are having a great Saturday, and thank you so much for joining me talking all things Masters of the Universe. Today on the channel, we're heading back to the CGI line for one last time to take a look at the final Savage Eternia figure, I believe the most rare, probably the most expensive figure, and very limited release of this particular figure. And now that Savage Eternia Mossman, we'll take a look at the packaging. We'll look at all the items he comes with, the artwork as well. And also, guys, stay tuned at the very end of the video, because I'm going to give you a very sneak peek, a very cool, very exciting sneak peek of an upcoming item that I just received within minutes. And I was not aware of this, but the rumors are true about this, and I'll tell you what it's about at the very end of the video. So stay tuned for that. So I cannot wait to show you what I just got in the mail. Okay, so but on to Mossman here. So here he is, Mossman, which was the final figure right there in the Savage Eternia line, right here. So there he is. There's Mossman. Of course, I have his other friends from that wave. I got Hordak right there. And I've got Merman. And we have He-Man, of course. And finally, Skeletor. So this was the final wave of the CGI line from that 5.5 scale, okay, that came out, which I do believe was part of Season 4, if Season 4 happened, okay? That Netflix show. And of course, if you're not aware, there were two Netflix shows that came out roughly at the same time. This show right here, and of course, the Revelation show and the Revolution show now. This show had about 3 seasons, right? And there was rumor of a 4th season, which I do believe these figures here were supposed to be a part of that, including Mossman here, okay? Before we get into that, any more into that, so we have a nice glamour shot of Mossman right there. You have the Castle Grayskull. You have a little bird friend here. Look, it looks like an owl, possibly. There's Mossman right there in the packaging. Savage Eternia, Mossman. Of course, if you notice one thing about this particular Mossman, he's not flocked. Okay, he reminds me a lot of that Masterverse version of Mossman. And I'll bring out my other Mossman that I have in the collection to compare him with, right there. Around the back. Nice glamour shot of him right there, of Mossman. With his little owl buddy, which if the show had continued with Season 4, most likely would have gotten the name of this particular owl friend of his, but we never did. Of course, the show got canceled, and the toy line got canceled as well. So what you're seeing here is the final figures of this particular CGI line right here, okay? There's He-Man with a little baby Cringer, and Skeletor with his little dinosaur. And like I said, I've done reviews for the entire CGI line. If you want to go back and check those out, please do, and thank you for doing that. I hope you will subscribe and leave some comments as well. All right, so back to around. So Mossman here. So yeah, the thing about Mossman, he was originally part of this wave here, and for some strange reason, and I don't know why exactly, he got a very limited release in this particular line here. Only certain parts of the world were able to get him. I do remember, pre-ordering him, online at Big Bad Toy Store, and my order got canceled because of the limited run or limited release of this particular figure. I don't know why that's the case, but yeah, so he had a very limited run. He was only showing up in places in Europe, like Australia too. So if you're looking for this particular figure, okay, in your collection, you're going to be paying some, at first he was going for a lot of money, okay. Now, as the time has gone, he's going more and more down. So I got my particular figure on eBay for under $100. So if you pay that long game, you might be able to find him if you're looking for this particular figure in your collection, okay. So yeah, I mean, I don't know why. Like I said, I don't know why exactly this figure right here had a limited run. Why is he was on a worldwide? I just don't know. It's just crazy. He's not flocked. He's not scented. He's just basic figure right here. Has that same 5.5 stance or 5-inch stance like all the other figures. They kind of pay tribute also to the 80s version of the He-Man line. It's not fully articulated, like the 80s versions. That's how it looks. They also have that waist spring-loaded action feature like the 80s versions do. These toy lines do that as well. But yeah, it's just crazy. Like this particular figure is showing up on eBay, and you're going to pay, roughly, if you can find one, over $100. Because they're all overseas, like places like Australia, which are going to be charging you like $70 plus another $30 for shipping plus taxes. So if you are looking for this figure, just be aware of that, okay, how rare it is and how expensive he is, okay? But still a very cool character. I'm happy to find, this is my final figure that I needed in the scale here, the 5.5 scale. So I have the entire collection now of this 5.5 scale line here. Now, I don't have the entire collection. There's some other figures that I'm missing that I still need in the CGI line. But as far as the scale here, the 5-inch scale here, he was the final figure that I needed in the line here. All right? And so real fast, let me get my other Mossman here. Here's my Masterverse version of him. So there you go. And like the Masterverse version, he is not flocked like the Masterverse version. He's not scented. Right there. I do like, one thing, I do like the look of him. It looks pretty cool. And of course, we got that Origins versions. And I have both versions of that particular Mossman, that flocked version of him. I'll get them right here next to each other. So there's the flocked versions of, both versions of that mini deluxe figure of Mossman, that collector's edition. I have both versions here. So you can see they're roughly the same height, okay? If you're new to the channel, the CGI line is more kid-friendly, And I didn't mind the show. The show had 3 seasons. It was pretty good for what it was. And personally, my final thoughts of this toy line here, now completely, there were rumors that this particular show might try to give us a 4th season to kind of, finish it off and just give us a proper send-off. I don't know if that's still the case or not. I don't think it is. They were trying very hard to give us the 4th and final season of the show here to, end it properly. And so, I don't think that's the case anymore. But for what it was fine. It was fun for what it was. It took He-Man and stuff like that in a different way and a different story. And I don't mind that personally. I don't mind, taking something and giving us something different and something fresh. If it didn't work out, of course, we had, Filmation to fall back on. We have the history of the fall back on, the 2000X show, So if this show didn't work, for me, like that would have been fine. This is for more of the new collectors, out there in the new generation of collectors. If you're looking to start something to collect, if you have young ones in your, you want to start collecting He-Man, I think this is a great line to start collecting for. In this, in this world here, this pocket world, this multiverse of He-Man, So yeah, for what it was fine. I mean, it wasn't the greatest. I mean, it didn't blow me away. Of course, it was my 3rd favorite, He-Man line to collect for. Of course, Origins is first, and then Masterverse. But this was still a solid, line. I still love that Grayskull. If you check my review of that CGI Grayskull that it came out, like this Grayskull here, they got their own version of Grayskull in this line here, and I thought it was one of the coolest Grayskulls out there. It lights up, it makes sound effects. It's got an automatic drawbridge. It's very cool for what it is. So this line right here was a fun line to collect for. I'm happy to finally get Mossman in the collection, and yeah, I mean. I'm really curious about your thoughts on this toy line here and this figure here, and why he was so hard to get, and why he got a very limited release in this, in the Savage Eternia line, where the other figures did get a full release. These figures behind me, I had no problem getting. I got them at Big Bag Toy Store. I got them at, retail stores, So yeah, I'm just curious about why, if you have any idea, why Mossman, out of all the figures in this entire, 5.5 scale, was the one that, had the very limited release and didn't get a full proper release like the other figures in this line here. I mean, he's not flocked, he's not scented, I mean, it's still a cool character. And if you're a big Mossman fan, I'm not trying to step on you, but, it's Mossman. I don't, I mean, he's a cool character, but, I just don't understand why this particular figure here got a very limited release in some places like Big Bad Toy Store, like Entertainment Earth, like Amazon, I believe, too, canceled their orders because of him. I know that the toy line got canceled. I'm sure they still made plenty of him, and I just don't know why he did not get a full-on worldwide release of this figure here. So I'm just curious about that. But, I finally got him in the collection. I'm very happy to have him in the collection. Now, I did pay, like I said, like a little under $100, and I can tell you why, because you can see right here, mine is a little bit damaged right here on the bottom right here. It's a little bit busted up right there. But still, I'm happy to have him in the collection. The side shot right there. Of course, this little bird friend, if you can see it right there, it goes on his shoulder right there, which is pretty cool. But I do like the fact that this toy line also pays tribute to the 80s toy line. With that action called out with the waist, spring-loaded waist. It's not fully articulated like the Origins line and the Masters line. You cannot customize it. You can't pop the head off. You can't pop the arms off. It's basically a full-on single figure, plastic figure. So you can't bend at the arms, like the Origins figures can and the Masters line. You can swerve at the hands if you wish, like that. But that's basically it for movement, okay? But I'm very happy to have him in my collection. And also, guys, if you were not aware of this, I think I'm right here, that if you have seen the new Revolution show, all right, on Netflix, the first 5 episodes out now. It's been out for a couple weeks now. So there's no spoilers here. If you haven't seen it yet, watch it. It's pretty good. I do believe that show paid tribute to the CGI line. And what I mean by that, if you remember, and I wish I could show you, and my apologies if I can't do that, that scene where Prince Adam and Tila transformed together to help recreate and rebuild Eternia, okay, the heavens. So all the champions, all the good people like King Grayskull, King Randar, and all the heroes and champions, even the sorceress too, can go back up there. If you look at He-Man's chest, with the white, armor, and it's got the lion's head on his shoulder right there. He's got that's symbol on his chest plate. That I do believe that's the symbol right there. That symbol right there. And I feel like that's a little Easter egg right there. I think that's it. And I think they're paying tribute to the CGI line. In fact, I think I don't know if it was the CGI line or the Masters. I think it was CGI. If you watch that series, they do a crossover event where you see the CGI line or cartoon in the world of the Revelation show. Part of, I think it was season 2 or season 3. So yeah, that was a little Easter egg they did on that show. For a brief moment, the characters of the CGI show went into another universe, another dimension, and they were in the Revelation show. So you saw 2 versions of He-Man, the CGI version of He-Man with the Revelation show He-Man. So I thought that was a really cool little nod to that. And also, this particular He-Man here too, guys, is so far is the only He-Man that has been in the CGI line, the Masterverse line, toy line, and the Origins toy line, okay? So if you don't remember, we got that 4-pack He-Man pack that he was in this particular He-Man was part of that 4-pack. Now, the only other figure that's close to that, of course, is Skeletor, because we got him in the CGI line, the Masters line, but yet we have not gotten him in the Origins line. So if hoping we will get that that 4-pack. I'm hoping we get that 4-pack Skeletor pack. With the because we're almost there. We have the Filmation style cartoon collection Skeletor. Of course, we have the the 2000X version of Skeletor. So basically, what we're missing is the CGI version and the new Adventures of Skeletor, which I would love to get in Origins form. So hopefully we'll get that at some point. I'm hoping, because there's so many great figures out there still that we have not gotten yet that I would love to get in the Origins line. All right. But there you go, guys. There's a look at Mossman here, the final figure, of the CGI world here. The very exclusive, very limited run or limited release, I guess you can call it, and possibly, like I said, the most expensive figure. He's more expensive, guys, than the Eternia playset for this line here. You can get that Eternia playset at Big Bad Toy Store, for like about $50. That whole playset, if you wish to get that, it's like under $50 now, I do believe. I hope I'm right. But yeah, he's more expensive than that in this particular line here. But there you go, guys. One more shot of Mossman in this line here. One more shot right here. All right. So there you go. There you go, guys. All right, guys. Before we get to the final thing, I'm going to show you guys the the really cool upcoming review and sneak peek here. I'm going to show you, and I just have them here, my flocked version of Funko Pop Mossman. There he is, the Toys R Us exclusive right there of Mossman here in the Origins. The Funko Pop world. Right there he is. So Mossman right there. So very cool. All right. All right. Now on to the item of business here. Hopefully you watched the entire video and you stuck around, and thank you for doing that. All right. So this particular item just came today, and I was not aware of this. And this is a rumor that's going on that I probably can confirm now is true. Okay. And I just got this particular item today. I was not aware of this. Okay. But I'm hearing rumors that it's happening, and it is true. And, just cut to the chase. I got in the mail, before I got my Eternia playset, and I got my King Grayskull Origins figure. There he is. I got him in the mail before my entire... I've not received yet my Eternia playset. He's still coming. Should be here within a day or so. Probably by the end of Saturday night, by the end of the night. Hopefully I'll have my Eternia playset. But yeah, there's been rumors that this particular figure of King Grayskull, and we'll do a review on him. We might do a review of him, or we might do the the looking of the Eternia playset. I might do King Grayskull first. Okay, so yeah, if you're not aware of this, of course, when Eternia playset was being shipped out, a lot of collectors were not getting their King Grayskull in their packaging. They got Modi the monster, they got the Grayskull the Eternia playset, but no King Grayskull from the Origins line. And so I guess, a lot of people complain. I would complain too that, Mattel, and I think I said this in a previous video, that Mattel has heard our cries and heard, our complaints, and was going to start shipping him, that King Grayskull Origins figure, at a later date, was like March 29th. Even that sounds like, bad. I don't like that either. I want my figure now. I don't understand why we have to wait 2 months or a month and a half for this figure to show up finally. This should be released and shipped out at the same time as the Eternia playset. So I guess Mattel has heard our complaints and is now shipping him out. But before the Eternia playset, without any tracking, I didn't get any tracking. I didn't get any notification at all. He just showed up, at my doorstep before the Eternia playset. So please be aware of that, guys. If you have not gotten your Eternia playset, keep an eye on that. If you've not gotten your King Grayskull yet, if you did early back him and you are expecting a Eternia, King Grayskull, Origins figure, just be aware of that he's just shipping without any notification. Anything, nothing. There's no shipping notification, no number, no tracking number, no nothing. He's just going to show up on your doorstep like he did with me. And there was a lot of collectors, who are having the same thing. They're doing. I mean, I'm not complaining. I'm happy for that. But I'm just glad I was home to get my, my King Grayskull. I just wish that, Mattel Creations will, give us a heads up. Like, hey, we heard your cry. We heard your problems with not getting King Grayskull. We're gonna do the right thing here, and we're gonna correct our mistake. And we're gonna start shipping these out now. You don't have to wait till March. At the end of March and possibly early April to get him. So, it's our bad. We apologize for that. There is nothing like that. So, I hope, Mattel will maybe do something like something to start notifying us collectors that, hey, we are shipping out King Grayskull. Expect him. He might be showing up before your Eternia playset, so just be aware of that too, guys, okay? So I did get my Eternia Origins King Grayskull Origins figure, and we'll take a look at him very closely soon on the channel, possibly on Sunday. It's either him. I think I'm gonna look at him. We'll take a look at him, and then maybe we'll look at the Eternia on Monday. Okay, so I can't wait for that, guys. But there you go, guys. There's a look at Mossman and a little sneak peek. Once again, I'll give you another sneak peek of King Grayskull from the Origins line right here. Okay. So thank you for waiting for that, guys, and hope you, it's like I said, just keep an eye on that, right? That, King Grayskull is shipping out, separately from the Eternia playset now without any tracking. So just be aware of that too, guys, okay? All right, so there you go, guys. One more shot of all the Mossmen we have, including the final Savage Eternia Mossman. All right, guys. If you all right, thank you for. All right, I'd like to take the time now to thank my subscribers. If you made it this far in the video, I have not subscribed. Please subscribe, guys. I love talking with you guys. All things Masters of the Universe, like the CGI line, like the Masterverse line here, from the Origins too, which could be the Vintage Origins line here to the cartoon collection, or I call it the Filmation collection, to the Turtles of Grayskull as well. To even the Masters of the WWE Universe, which you saw another crossover event, where if you're a big wrestling fan, where you saw the wrestling figures in the world of Eternia, which was pretty cool. All right, hit that like button, and thank you for doing that. It means a lot, and it helps my channel to get out there to grow, and hopefully for more people to watch my channel, and hopefully to subscribe too. So thank you for hitting that like button. It means so much. So thank you. Hit that notification bell when you upload new videos. And of course, I already showed you what's going to be possibly going to be happening on Sunday. We'll be taking a nice deep look at King Grayskull, the Origin. Now, this is collector friendly, so we can remove him from the packaging. Take a nice shot of him. So we'll take a look at King Grayskull, the Origins the Mattel Creations exclusive part of the Eternia crowdfunding figure that we got in Origins. We'll take a look at him right there. So I cannot wait to do the little deep dive. We'll compare him to the Masterverse version as well. All right. So I cannot wait for that. Of course, share this video for anyone who has a passion and a love for collecting all things Masters of the Universe, which could be like this over 40 years of this amazing product, from the CGI line, from the Origins line to the Masterverse line as well, to Funko, to the 80s line, of course, the classics, to the Super 7, to Club Grayskull, to Mondo as well, to the 2000X line, to the new adventures of He-Man too, So, guys, I cannot wait. This next couple of days are going to be amazing. I cannot wait to look at King Grayskull, to look at, Eternia. And by the way, just to give a heads up, I will not be... I might be unboxing the Eternia just to see what looks inside, because I think Modi the Monster's in there, inside that box. So we'll try to get him out, and we'll take a look at him as a different review. But as far as assembling Eternia, I just don't have the room at my place. And so we might just unbox Eternia, or at least open it up and see all the stuff inside. We'll look at the beautiful artwork as well. But as far as, assembling it and putting it together, I'm not going to do that at all. I'm going to try to keep it in the box and, retape it up. And so I'm looking forward to like other, like you, finding other YouTubers who are going to, assemble Eternia, and I'll take a look at it with you guys. But for me personally, I am not going to assemble my Eternia playset. I'm just going to keep it in the box, but I will like at least open it up and maybe show you what's inside, and see we go from there, guys. So I'll just give you a heads up on that. But I can just, like I said, I cannot wait for these next couple of days, guys. It's gonna be a lot of fun to look at some new figures here, like King Grayskull, like Eternia. So I hope you will join me for that. And I hope like I said, I hope your Eternia is coming very soon. I hope your King Grayskull is on his way as well. I hope the people who didn't get their King Grayskull is now have their now. I hope Mattel has shipped out their King Grayskull, and now they have it in their collection. So, all right. So guys, I cannot wait, guys. So guys, I hope you guys have a great Saturday, and I'll see you guys on Sunday. Take care, guys, and have a good one.